There's our lug nut. There's our studs, stuck in the lug nuts, snapped off. 3 of them. 3 of them! Roll with it.
We can't roll with it. A lug nut's a busted fool.
You hear that? We are all loaded up, ready to go, and having a little trouble. When we had our truck in the shop, they told us that our valve stem extender failed and that our inner tire was almost flat. Well, we checked our air like we always do before we leave and filled it up. Noticed that it was very, very low. Put air in it, and now it's all leaking out, as you could hear. So now we're trying to call the dealer that we took it to see if they can get us in to replace our valve stem. And they're not answering.
We are just now leaving the dealership, and God bless them. We brought the truck back to Old Saybrook, where we had the turbo fixed about a month ago, and asked if they would look at the valve stem issue that we were having, because we had a valve stem extender on it and it was leaking the air like Bill said. The technician thought we were in for an oil change, but the guy at the front desk was so kind. He said it was just a complimentary service. So we not only got our valve stem fixed, but we got a free oil change as well. So fingers crossed, we are now roadworthy. The truck is now ready and we can finally hit the road about 3 hours after our intended time to leave. But you know, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. You're gonna have hiccups on the road, you're gonna have issues, but you know, you just gotta roll with the punches and know it'll work out, it'll get fixed eventually.
Yes, that young lady in the video there is still staying positive. We had just left, but little did we know it was a ticking time bomb.
Yes, so that brings us to travel day 2. We had just reached the state of Indiana, and we were, I don't know, probably 30 to 45 minutes outside of Fort Wayne, Indiana, when a Good Samaritan rolled up alongside of the truck. I was driving, and all I see is him doing this outside. I'm like, what in the devil does that mean?
Rolling with the homies.
Yeah.
No.
But we figured if someone was giving us a signal, maybe we should pull over and see if there was anything wrong with the truck or the trailer.
Yes, we get her pulled over, and then this guy actually circled back around. Was like, hey, I noticed your wheel was wobbling quite a bit. So that kind of takes us to this point in the video. We did get out and check the tire, and yeah, we definitely were in need of a tow. There's our lug nut. There's our studs, stuck in the lug nuts, snapped off. 3 of them. 3 of them! Roll with it.
We can't roll with it. A lug nut's a busted fool.
We're laughing because we're insane. You got to. You just got to.
What are you gonna do? Get mad? Cry? Ain't gonna change it.
Little did we know, we did not have the coverage we needed. In fact, being a member of Good Sam does not mean you automatically have their roadside assistance coverage.
Unfortunately, we did not learn that until we called in need of a tow. For those of you saying, duh, we just assumed this coverage was similar to AAA, where it was an automatic feature. This was strike 1.
Well then, yeah, I guess I need to talk to them to get this resolved, because we are sitting on the side of a highway. We need a tow.
Our next plan of action was to not only find a tow for the truck and trailer, but also a campground to stay for the night.
Of course, all this was occurring at 4 p.m. on a Friday on the side of a pretty busy highway. Still rolling with it there?
Like I said, it could be worse.
Suppose we could shut it out.
Because we weren't having any luck with a tow, it was later in the day, and we knew we weren't going to find anyone to fix our truck tonight. We decided we would just sleep in the RV on the side of the road and figure it out in the morning.
We then decided to call the local authorities to notify them of our plan. The first officer arrived at the scene, and as we were discussing our plan, he thought, yeah, well, I guess you could do that.
Hi. Pretty.
This is where God stepped in and sent us some angels. A second officer arrived on the scene. Once we explained what was going on, officer number 2 said he knew the owner of a wrecking crew the department frequently used and gave the owner a call.
This is when Robbie, the owner of Robinson's Record, arrived to tow our camper to his lot with his own personal truck.
No, we're not gonna be prisoners.
The day from HE Double Hockey Sticks continues. In this episode,
Oh man. Well, you saw the tire troubles. After calling around for an hour, we finally, well, Bill finally gets hip to calling the highway patrol, asking for help. Because at that point we were just like, let's unhook, let's just stay on the side of the road and we'll figure it out in the morning. Yes, we were a lane off of the highway, but still dangerous. We still have kids. It's hot. Not a good idea. The state troopers, though, they came to our rescue. They recommended Robbie's Wrecking. This guy was so cool. He came out personally. The owner, Robbie himself, came out with his own truck. And not only that, but he left the truck so we could go get something to eat. Go get water. I mean, that doesn't happen everywhere every day, folks. That's a small town for you. So if you're ever outside of Fort Wayne, Indiana, on the east side of town, just before this is the town of New Haven, just outside of Fort Wayne, Indiana, Robinson's Wrecking. Not only does he offer a tow, but they also do repairs and body work here too. So you can see our rig is parked here. He gave us a truck. They even have power for us. And as you can see behind us, they towed our truck too. That'll be done first thing in the morning. I think they open up at 7:30. Hallelujah. So man, we thought our woes were over. The good Lord sent us a few angels, gave us a solution to our problems, and then we go to hook up. We dropped our front jacks, probably too far. Went to go auto level everything, and it says, hey, we can't auto level because you're out too far. So then we try monkeying with it, and then it says, oh, LF error. What? It says retract all jacks. We retract them, still errors. Then we couldn't pull the pin in our front jack. And then out of frustration, I grabbed the ruler and I beat the children. Did I do that?
Yeah.
No. It started raining. It was just like Murphy's Law.
Isn't that a show?
It is a show. But it's not like the TV show. It's like Murphy's Law. What can't go wrong will. So after we deal with the truck, we get a tow. Now our jack is stuck and it's out of sync. It begins to rain. That's why my hair is all up and out of the way.
Not anymore.
That's right, Will. The silver lining. It stopped raining. Thank you, Lord Jesus.
which cooled it off.
And Bill got wise and called up our buddies with Diary of a Family, Garrett and Carolyn, who had a very similar issue with their RV just a couple of weeks ago. So check out their video, go to Diary of a Family, go to their page, check out their video, check out all their content. They're great people. Another travel nurse family. Anywho, called them up. Garrett says, I know exactly what to do. Release all of the jacks, 6 inches. Yes, 6 inches. You have to measure 6 inches. Dropped them all, then retracted them all. And then angels sang, oh, and it cleared the error. So now we have to see if we can re-level this thing so we can get set up, so we can go eat and get some rest and put a close to this terrible, awful, no good, very bad day.
Robbie's the nicest stranger in the world.
True that.
Success!
Touchdown! Woo!
We were excited to finally be able to set up camp and relax for a bit.
Thanks to Robbie leaving his truck, we were able to get some grub.
It's finger licking good.
Well, the next morning, after they got the truck into the shop, the folks at Robinson's Wrecking Crew noticed that not only were the lug nuts sheared off, and I think we had 4 actually sheared off, but it had ovaled out the hole in not just one of our rims, but both of our rims, because we drive a dual rear wheel truck. So if the lugs were affected on one wheel, it affects the other one as well. So we had to replace both. Yeah, and that's when we figured there had to have been an issue at the repair shop when we had the truck in Connecticut.
So I called Old Saybrook back in Connecticut just to see what they would say, because we've talked to several people up by this point, and they're all saying, you know, it's probably something that happened when they were messing with your tires, and they're over-torqued or they're under-torqued or something happened there. So we called them up, and they're like, well, I don't know how you would have made it all the way to Indiana. If that something would have happened, it would have happened within 100 miles or whatever, you know. They're like, but let us talk to the shop after they do their work, and I want to hear what they have to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we had, I think it was Robbie's son. So the owner's son actually was the one who reached out to Old Saybrook, and he basically, you know, said the same thing. Of course, there's no proof of anything, but yeah, he said it looks like this was a torquing issue, and the only time we had our tires torqued was when they were fixing the valve stem in Connecticut. So they have to be the source of the problem. But again, it was what the shop manager said, well, I have to take this higher up the ladder and I'll let you know what we find out.
Yep, so they got our work done. They were only able to find one rim in town, so they slapped our spare on there. We paid. They didn't charge us for either tow, the truck or the RV.
Which was amazing.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah, so more kudos to them. And we set off down the road. Everything was good to go.
But wait, there's more.
I think we were rolling somewhere in Illinois, and all of a sudden, errors flashing up on the dash on the truck, saying trailer something. I don't recall now, but something about trailer brake failure, something to that extent. And yes, when we went to squeeze our trailer brake, we had definitely lost some power to that, and I'm not quite sure what was going on.
No, but, you know, we are in the flat part of the Midwest, and, you know, we're on a schedule. Like, I've got to get to Texas to start work in, like, I don't know, 5 days at that point. So, like, we had a schedule to stick to. We were already going to stop and visit family in Iowa, so we just figured we would charge onward and we would be okay. We wouldn't need the brakes, and we could just figure it out once we had it parked.
Natasha. We are presently in Fort Dodge, Iowa. It is travel day 5, and we are here a day longer than we anticipated because we decided to check this trailer brake or trailer wiring issue we were having on the truck. We reached out to some other full-time RVers. We reached out to Todd with Two Beards and a Babe, another great YouTube channel, so go and check that one out. And Todd gave us some useful suggestions on what to check to see if we could problem solve our brake issue. So Bill and I came out yesterday. We were checking our wiring. We were tracing it back here to the tires. And then we found a new issue. This shackle hanger that shackles in the 2 leaf springs between the 2 axles has been busted. And this is probably the source of our trailer brake issue, because if the shackle broke, it may have disconnected the trailer brake wires or severed it. So we're here an extra day. We called around, we found 2 places in this tiny town that can help us out. And Truck Doctors in Fort Dodge, Iowa actually was able to get the parts in today and fit us in a day earlier than the other place we called. So fingers crossed we can fix this issue, fix the brake issue, and that the mighty Lord above will not give us any troubles for the rest of the duration of our trip. After all of our travel woes this trip, we have finally made it to Omaha, but we have also picked up a hitchhiking friend, a little lizard that we had to have picked up in either Louisiana or Florida. But I have my handy dandy helper Will. We're gonna try and release him from under our sink. Oh, back out into the wild. All right, Will, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna open the door. You got it? You hold the bucket. Put the bucket over top! Put the bucket over top! Put the bucket over top! Jerry! There he is.
Meow.
He's holding on for dear life. There he goes! You're free! And don't come back! Let's see if we can get to the dealership.
Jama, day 6. Pulled in town, had a nice dinner with my folks. Go to leave their place. Boom, engine light. And it says, emission system failure. Check manual. 175 miles till max speed is 65 miles per hour. Then we go see my brother. Then we leave my brother's place, and then boom, engine overheating. Turn off immediately. So now we're taking the truck in to a shop here in Omaha, Nebraska. See if they can diagnose it. So that's what we did. We took it into Woodhouse in Omaha, and they took a look at it. Turns out what it was is that there was a wire coming off of our AC compressor that was grounding out on the thermostat. Something to that effect was making the engine think it was like 3,000 degrees. When really wasn't. So after they were looking at it and I was roaming the lot, catastrophizing, shopping for a new truck, we went back. They charged us for some labor and a piece of wire, and it wasn't a big deal.
Actually, I think they just charged us the diagnostic fee, just $125 plus the little bit of wire. It was less than $140, and they had it for like 6 or 8 hours.
Yeah. So we get to Waco, and her brother Nick knows a thing or two about vehicles, as you've seen in our maintenance video, right up here. And he says, bring it over here. I want to take a look and see if you got anything else weird going on in there. So he actually pops the hood, and I want to say it was called our manifold, that has 4 bolts bolting it down. Well, 3 of those bolts were like sticking up like 2 inches out, like they weren't even bolted down all the way. So he tightened what he could down, and the other one he was trying to tighten down, and the bolts were actually broken.
Stripped out.
And it was broken off inside there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, once again, how long was it like that? You would think that those were parts that they would have been removing to fix our turbo.
Yeah.
Do we know that for certain? No. So, once again, just bad taste in our mouth from the whole experience there. But we did. We made it to Waco safe and sound.
Woo! So yeah, all in all, I mean, this was a huge trip for us. I think it was 1,600 miles to get from Connecticut with our detour to the Midwest and then south to Texas. So it was a big haul, but it was by far our most challenging trip yet because we had so many things go wrong.
Yeah, and it's hard to stay positive. Like we've said before, I tend to catastrophize and like, what are we doing? This is crazy. We're just throwing money down the toilet. And
but you can't do that. You can't think of
we need a new truck.
No.
We need a new RV.
No.
We need to just start over. What are we doing? We're in Omaha. We're from Omaha. Stay here.
No, then we're giving it up. You know, we gotta... That's when I like to pull Bill back in and just be like, no, you know, you're going to have issues in a sticks and bricks. You're going to have issues pop up just randomly in life in general. You can't just throw in the towel and say, I'm done. We're parking it. Because we've had some amazing experiences embracing this RV travel lifestyle. We've been to like 24 states. The kids have seen and done so many more things than I would have ever dreamed of at their ages. And we've only been doing this for 3 months or 3 years. There's still so much to see and to do.
Yeah. So, with the good comes the bad. But really, once you get past all the catastrophizing, I think the good outweighs the bad.
100%. 100%.
97%.
Yeah. That's why you learn to roll with it. You'll find that RVers in general are pretty chill because you know stuff's gonna break. It's just a matter of when. And no, timing is not always perfect, but we made it to Texas on time. I started work on time, and we had the funds in our savings account to pay for these repairs. So all in all, you know, we made it through. And it strengthened our marriage and our relationships. And
I was just thinking that we do differ a little bit. She's more positive than I am sometimes. What I can say is that through each trial, each time you come up against some new obstacle, you seem to deal with it better the next time. So I do think I've gotten a little bit better with dealing with things as they come. But
yes,
I still need my 5 minutes of freaking out.
That's okay. You know, just let it out and then move on. And that's what you need to do as fellow RVers, fellow travelers, is just realize things are gonna happen. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. Things don't always go well. But so long as you've got your number one partner and
the whole community of RVers behind you. Like we
right.
were lucky enough that we knew people to reach out to when things went wrong, and
yes,
people to get advice from, as far even with the truck and with the RV breaking. You know, that's RV community is a great community.
Absolutely. And we've always got the man upstairs looking out for us. No matter what happens, we know we're going to be okay. So we hope that we've inspired you that despite all of the crud that you have witnessed on this trip, that you will not be afraid to get out there and live your life and have fun adventures.
That's right.
So we hope that you all have enjoyed this video. We hope that you have maybe learned a little bit of something or just been entertained.
Or if anything, if you have some of these similar problems arise, call us. Reach out.
Yes.
We can tell you what we did or who you should talk to. You
Yep.
know.
If you don't have our phone number, you can always email us at nursinghourtravelbug@gmail.com. We check that pretty regularly, so if you're in an emergency situation, we can give you our phone number. We can chat back and forth. Most definitely. Also, we want to hear your horror stories. Leave us a comment. Let us know we are not alone in the awful travel days.
Yeah.
For sure.
So as she was saying, if you liked this video, please give her a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell so you're notified every time we have some new content out there. Join us Sundays, live, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific.
That's right. And then we can chat with all of you.
That's right.
So I'm Natasha
And I'm Bill.
with Nursing Our Travel Bug, encouraging you to get out there and nurse what makes you happy.
Goodbye.
Bye.